Hello everyone, Medic here. So first thing first, this video is not sponsored by anyone, but I'm gonna use Empress from Paradise Arcade Shop as an example. But it's not about the Empress, but more like about the layout that they use. So they use a tight layout for button. As you can see, they put button really close together. There is barely any gap between button, so you can use just one finger to press two buttons like this, right? So it's important because there is a technique called double slide. So double slide is just slide two fingers after another like this across directional buttons to get a super input, right? So super input most of the time is just two fireball motion, right? So you do like this, you get input in just one swipe. And it's important because when you slide with this tile layout, you get diagonal direction, which is important for Street Fighter 6 because this game have a unique way to input super. So unlike previous game in Street Fighter 4 and 5, or even like Grand Blue Fantasy versus, I think you only need down forward to do a super. You don't need diagonal at all. You just can do just down forward really fast, right? But for Street Fighter 6, you need at least one diagonal input for a super input to work. So you can do down diagonal and down forward, or down forward and down diagonal and forward to get a super input. This is only work if you have a tile layout like this. Normally, most of leverless controller they have this gap between button that you can barely press two of them at the same time like this. Especially harder when you try to do a slide. It will just give you down forward most of the time, like 90% of the time. And even harder if you have a controller with standard Sanwa button like this. They have button ring, right? So they cannot like put button too close together. So it's even harder to do this. I will show how hard it is. So because I don't have a leverless with this kind of button, so I have to use my stick instead and mapping my attack button to movement. So it should be close enough to like leverless, like normal leverless, you know, that use Sanwa button. As you can see, I have to use finger sleeve to help because after a while my finger hurt for like sliding too long, you know, and it's help make it slide easier and quicker. And as you can see, I can definitely use one finger to get diagonal, but when I sliding, it's quite rare that I get diagonal, you know. I only get like down and forward most of the time, like 95% of the time. So it's quite hard to do this technique. I mean, I could like tilt my finger a bit, but it is super awkward to play like this, you know. It might help, maybe. Okay, really hard. Normally I would like get this like 90% of the time, but with this layout it's hard to do. But with the tile layout, I could get it almost every single time. You might be thinking, is it that fast, double slide? Can I just use like a leverless shortcut? You know, like there are a lot of shortcuts out there, right? Well, the slide is not as fast as modern, but in theory, it could be as fast as 5 frame. You know, you can do this in 5 frame. That is the fastest possible like frame you can get. Another good thing is that you don't have to press any button beforehand. You don't have to hold anything. You can play neutral, and if you saw something, you can just do it. So for example, as you can see, I am a Zangief main, and one of his level 2 super art, right? Level 2 is designed to be used against a fireball, right? But if you not play a modern, if you play modern, it's so easy, right? You saw fireball, you press button, and it just happened. You just use SA2. But for classic, you cannot input super on reaction. You cannot just, oh, I saw a fireball and do this. It will not like come out in time. All right, the super is so slow, right? Most of the time when you play against a fireball character, you have to like buffer super, and if you're not good at hiding your buffer in your movement or between box stun, the opponent will know that you're buffering, and they will be more caution about throwing fireball at you, right? So with this technique, you can like get them by surprise more often. And there's some more situation that you could use this technique. For Zangief player, we all know that the health step combo into this SA2 is really hard, right? SA2 and SA1. Not easy thing to do. Normally what people do is they input health step in the middle of the super input, right? So we do half circle first, and then health step, and then another, no, not half circle, quarter circle first, like this, right? But this way we have to think about it beforehand before do the input. But if you can do the double slide, you can just think about the super later. You can just focus on the health step, because sometimes health step is not combo if you like input mistime, right? So with the double slide, you can just do the health step and then input the super later very easily. And for when we on the right side of the screen, if you play leverless before, you know that the super on this side is really hard to do, because the flexible on ring finger is not as good as these two, right? So sometimes it's hard to do, but with the burn slide, again, very easy. Oops. Right. This combo actually pretty hard, you know, like you have to do 2 health stab into super 2 times, right? But with this method, so easy. The other thing is that you can confirm super in form light attack. So for Marisa, I see a lot of modern Marisa, right? And one of her strong point is that she can do light, crush light, punch, and then level 3 to check like check dash, check die rush, right? If you play on classic and you don't use light, you do light punch and then buffer the level 3, you will get level 3 on accident a lot, right? It's not fast enough. Like I try to do this fast as possible, still get level 3 on accident, right? Normally people just do the motion and hit confirm the light punch, right? So if the light punch hit, they press the kit to get level 3, right? But sometimes it's too slow, right? So with the double slide, you can just do the whole input, the buffer the whole input without fear of accident level 3, like this. Just play neutral. With practice, you can do this more consistent, but I'm not a Marisa player, so you know. And it's not that hard on your hand as you might think. Yeah, so that's it. I hope that more brands have this layout as an option in the future, you know. Like most of them right now have like just one layout with normal gap, right? So if you like the video and want your favorite brand to have this layout, please share the video so they can see it. Help me here, right? Yeah, thank you for watching.